Hello, welcome back to How About That Crypto. You are watching your daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter and Bitcoin Hairstylist on Instagram. I am here Monday through Friday, and I explain crypto and Web3 while keeping you up to date on all the latest. Today's news stories are publicly traded sports betting company DraftKings is now a validator on the Polygon blockchain. Crypto exchange Kraken is giving out 10 million US dollars directly to Ukrainians affected by the conflict. And finally, the president's executive order, which we already know what's in it, but we'll take another look nonetheless. What does this all mean? I'll explain it all. If you like the content or you don't like the content, please let me know by leaving a comment below. Please like, subscribe. If you're listening on podcast, please give me 5 stars and follow. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and click the notification bell. It helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it keeps you informed. Just to be clear and litigious, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Use the links below to do your own research. All right. Yesterday was a very news-heavy day, and the president issued an executive order on digital assets, but I'll talk about that later, and a bunch of other bullish stuff, but not as bullish as DraftKings is now a validator on the Polygon blockchain. What is Polygon? Let's start there. Polygon is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. There is layer 1 and there's layer 2. Layer 1 is essentially the main network, and Ethereum is a layer 1. Bitcoin is a layer 1. Cardano is a layer 1. Solana is a layer 1, and there's some other ones as well. And layer 2 is a way to help these things scale, or they could also be something like, basically think of like a branch off of a tree, where all this other stuff can happen on this branch, but it can leverage the benefits of the entire tree. The bigger the tree is, the more leaves it can have, etc. And so anyway, layer 2 is a way you can build something off of a main network. And Polygon is proof of stake, and proof of stake versus proof of work. Proof of work, we've talked a lot about. Proof of work is the energy intensive consensus protocol that secures the network as well as processes the transactions. Proof of stake is a little different in that people have to stake their tokens to become validators. And I'll tell you what a validator is in a second. Polygon is proclaimed as extremely secure, not just by themselves, but by many other people that I read when I was doing the research for today. It uses the coin Matic, which is used for governance, security, and fees. Governance means that each token is worth a vote. So if something goes up for a vote, then you can vote on the changes to the blockchain or the consensus protocols, etc. Now, it also helps Ethereum grow because it's faster and it's cheaper. If you know anything about Ethereum, you know that it's slow and it's expensive. Okay, what is a validator? According to coinmarketcap.com. Okay, so also I have links below if you want to read further about what Polygon is and what a validator is, just so you know. According to CoinMarketCap, a validator is a very important part of proof of stake consensus mechanism. Each blockchain has nodes or computers or a machine or a server, and they are like a banker that verifies transactions. Transactions are only considered complete when the accuracy and authenticity are checked. This is all done by a validator. All right. Now that we're all clear, if not, links are below, like I told you. I would like to dive into our story for today. Okay. So as you can see, where Crypto Slate reports, Polygon includes $23 billion sports betting company DraftKings as network validator. Ethereum's scaling solution Polygon includes the NASDAQ-listed DraftKings sports betting company as a network validator on the Polygon network. It's the first time a major publicly traded firm has taken an active role in blockchain governance. Now, I did read that Google participates in running nodes for the Theta videos. Read more about that if you want. There's a link below. Anyways, that's not the point, but I just wanted to say that just because I'm not sure that one statement's 100% accurate. I'm trying to keep it real and accurate as much as I possibly can. And remember, the news changes all the time, and we live in this world where things can be fluid. So I will keep you up to date, and that's why you tune in. Moving on, what is DraftKings? DraftKings is a digital sports entertainment and gaming company. It is publicly traded with a $23 billion US dollar valuation. For the right to run a node, a validator must stake Matic coins. Now, remember, a node is a verifier of transactions, and you have to use the Matic token or Matic coin. This is bullish, I think. What do you think? Tell me, leave a comment below. Moving on. So in Polygon, $4 billion US dollars has been staked, and everybody who stakes their tokens earns a return for locking up their tokens because you can't use them, and it helps secure the blockchain. And by being in part of a staking, by staking your tokens, you're participating in the verification, which secures the network and helps it process everything. Rewards are currently equal to $770 million. That's a lot of money. Polygon supports OpenSea NFT marketplace. If you've ever heard of any of these like crazy $100,000, $200,000, $1 million JPGs that are selling like crazy, whether you think that's cool or not, or stupid, whatever, that's not the point. The point is that is mostly done on OpenSea, and OpenSea uses Polygon. Also, what Polygon supports is Dolce & Gabbana brand. They're using the Polygon network. Aave is a lending protocol, so you can check out Aave if you want to get into some DeFi. And MarkCuban'sLazy.com. This is to show off your NFTs. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. There are over 7,000 dApps, decentralized apps, and the more applications that are built on the network, the more uses it gets, and the more the price goes up. Not financial advice. And it is considered the most popular blockchain network for Web3 projects. DraftKings participation equals adoption is huge. This is insanely big. They're going to I have a little statement from the company in a minute. I'm going to read you. They are also launching an NFT based game within the NFL's Players Association. And let me read this statement from DraftKings here. Gaining exposure to staking technology supports DraftKings' broader strategy of building out a robust, sustainable, and decentralized infrastructure to help future-proof aspects of our business in the Web3 era, said Paul Liberman, co-founder and president of global product and technology at DraftKings. Okay, so there's a couple words in here I want to point out. Future-proof. Well, actually, one word. Future-proof. Like, they think that it's important that they're part of Web3, crypto, decentralization for the future. Now, if they're wrong, they're wrong. They're going to continue to still operate DraftKings as they are operating it, but they're integrating this stuff to future-proof their company. If more publicly traded companies believe that in order to future-proof their companies, they need to adopt this technology, means that price go up. Not financial advice, just saying that's my take on it. What are your thoughts on this? Leave a comment below. I think this is crazy bullish if you haven't figured that out by now. I own Matic, so could I just be excited because I own Matic? Maybe, or maybe all this information I just gave you is bullish. Tell me what you think. I will probably buy more. This is not financial advice. And tell me, what are you buying, if anything? You know, are you just along for the ride? Let me know. I'm very curious to hear. All right, moving on. The next story has to do with the Ukraine conflict. And again, my prayers continue to go out to all those impacted by this conflict. Good things are happening in crypto with Ukraine. It's a silver lining. It's still pretty rough over there, and it's a very unfortunate situation, and it's beginning to impact everyone. Even if you didn't care, well, you're probably experiencing a price increase at the pump, and you're probably going to experience supply chain issues again, which means other prices will probably go up. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying. The crypto exchange Kraken shares some news. Kraken is a crypto exchange. It's a pretty big one, and they want to give money. The title of this article is Kraken to distribute over $10 million in aid to clients impacted by Ukraine crisis. What they want to give money directly to affected clients, not to some organization, directly in the pockets of people. Starting today, between now and July 1st, clients with accounts prior to March 9th of this year are eligible for $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. And if you want to transfer it into fiat currency, they are waiving your fees up to $1,000. You have to apply. You have to meet some basic requirements. This is for people directly affected by the crisis. Now, I have a little thing that I want to read to you. And if you're listening on podcasts, you can just grab these links also and see the exact articles that I'm reading and do your own research. Now, this is from Jesse Powell, CEO of Kraken. We hope to continue being able to provide critical financial services in a time of need to both of our clients in Ukraine and in Russia. Cryptocurrency remains as an important humanitarian tool, especially at a time when many around the world can no longer rely on traditional banks and custodians. As part of the effort, Kraken will also donate an amount equivalent to the total trading fees paid by Russia-based clients in the first half of 2022 to the aid package. Further, additional aid may be announced as a crisis continues to unfold. Okay. All I can say is mind blown. Okay, this is not only is it brilliant, but it's also amazing. And so real quick before I actually no, why do I think this is insanely crazy? One, it's just awesome that they're giving money directly to people so that they don't have to get the money through some, convoluted or clunky process to get the benefits. There's no centralized authority deciding what people should get with their money that they're getting. People can decide that for themselves. But the craziest part is that second piece where they're going to donate the equivalent amount of trading fees paid by Russian-based clients. Okay, translation. All the money they made off of Russia, they're giving to Ukraine. How awesome is that? That is amazing. Anyway, tell me what you think. You think it's stupid? You think it's not awesome? I would love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, moving on. They also said they will continue to abide by legal sanctions. So all the people that are worried about sanctions, I've also included a link below. It's going to be on every single video between now and the end of this crisis. God willing that this crisis is over sooner than later. But there is a link that Coinbase put out, or a article about Coinbase, and it's on let's see, it is on understanding coinq.com. Anyway, the link is below. You can check that out and read some actual in-depth details about the situation with sanctions and crypto. Do not buy the FUD that crypto is how people are getting around sanctions. Okay. All right. And I've reported on that extensively, so I'm not going to get into that anymore. If you want to, you do your own research, read the link below, go back and watch the episodes. Moving on. What do you think about this aid package? What do you think about the fact that they're giving all the money made off of Russia to the Ukraine? Leave a comment below. I think this is credible. Giving money made off of Russians is just, I don't know. I just love it. It's an awesome idea. And it's also going to be impactful. So now moving on to our last and final story. You already knew this was coming because I had some leaked documents I shared with you. We knew before the president announced the executive order on digital assets, that what was going to be in it, but let's just take a closer look. And so it's called President Biden to sign executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. I'm currently looking at the fact sheet, but I have given a link to the long entire order. I did read through that. It's pretty extensive and a lot of just like legal stuff. I don't know. It's not an easy read. Let's just put it that way. But basically, every single person in the cabinet and all the government agencies and the regulatory agencies are being called on by the president to participate in figuring all this digital asset stuff out. They want to know, how can we create a CBDC? How can we protect consumers? How can we protect investors? And also there's some more information, but I'm just going to read you the high level bullet points real quick. And it says specifically the executive order calls for measures to protect U.S. consumers, investors, and businesses, which, yeah, that makes sense. And I think that not all of us maybe, but I think a lot of us, especially people who are currently not in the crypto space, would appreciate that. Protect U.S. and global financial stability and mitigate systemic risk. Now, this is an interesting one here, U.S. and global financial stability and mitigate systemic risk. So there is a lot of language in the actual executive order that sounds a little protectionist to me, and I'll get to that in 1 second, but they are worried about the U.S. dollar dominance being impacted by crypto. Next point, mitigate the illicit finance and national security risk posed by the illicit use of digital assets. So they don't want people using this for bad purposes or to avoid sanctions. And when they do their research, they're going to realize that they should probably figure out our current financial system and all of the shell corporations and how there's an entire industry of money laundering and use of our current money for illicit purposes, way more than crypto and digital assets. But let's just wait and see what the quote experts unquote figure out when they do their research. Moving on, promote U.S. leadership in technology and economic competitiveness to reinforce U.S. leadership in the global financial system. So this is one of the most bullish statements, in my opinion. Promote U.S. leadership in technology and economic competitiveness. If you know anything about me or you've been watching this channel, you know that one of the most important things to me is U.S. competitiveness. And I think that without focusing on U.S. competitiveness, we are going to lose all of the privileges that we enjoy as Americans due to the U.S. dollar dominance and the size of our military and the size of our economy, etc. Now, the final point, not the final point, promote equitable access to safe and affordable financial services. So they are recognizing that the crypto is a way of helping the unbanked and the underbanked get the benefits of being part of a financial system, because our current financial system is not interested in people that don't have a license or don't have a good credit score or don't make enough money or whatever. So this is really awesome and bullish as well. I'm really looking forward to see that, because there is conflicting reports as to whether their crypto actually helps create more equity. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Support technological advances, ensure responsible development and use of digital assets. Again, that's another bullish sign. Technological advancements. Don't forget that technology is the one thing that enables humans to continue to evolve and grow and benefit and experience more benefits and privileges of living. Like, for example, the wheel. Forks. Remember the Larry David commercial from crypto? If you didn't watch it, you should go check that out. But yeah, all this new technology that we've experienced has really helped us evolve as a species and like change our lives, arguably for the better. If you disagree with that, leave a comment below. Next and final point, explore a U.S. central bank digital currency. There's actually quite a bit of language in the executive order on this, and we will see if having a CBDC, central bank digital currency, is important. I do like that there is a lot of language saying that we want to make sure to protect our privacy, because CBDCs can be used to surveil their nation citizens, because you can essentially program the money to say you can only buy a certain amount of grain products or oil products. You can only get a certain amount. You're only allowed to use a certain amount of gas. They can program the money. It's programmable money. So that is a concern of mine and the larger crypto community. We already have dollars in the system through stable coins, which are synthetic CBDCs, and they need to bring some regulation and transparency to that space. I expect that to come as well. So I did read the long version. The link is below. It's mostly good. It's a little protectionist in some of the language about the US dollar dominance, and we want to make sure to keep that. But like I said earlier, I do appreciate the privilege that Americans have had because of this US dollar dominance and the military might that we have. We're all seeing that right now with what's happening with Russia. If Russia wasn't concerned about the size of our military, and they were able to continue to operate business as usual outside of the US dollar dominating financial system, then they would not be feeling as much pain and pressure as they are now, and they wouldn't be as deterred as they maybe are. And we'll see how this thing whole goes. Do you disagree with any of the statements I've made? I did make some statements that are my opinions on this last part. Please leave a comment below. I'm very, very curious what you think. I get it all. I get this executive order. A lot of the crypto industry is celebrating it. I am not celebrating until we have legislation, because this is just do the research and give me some proposals for legislation. That's basically what the executive order is. Within 6 to 7 months is the timeline. So what are your thoughts on all this? What are your thoughts on DraftKings? I think it's huge. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Kraken move to donate money and the way they're donating it? And what are your thoughts on the executive order? What are your thoughts on anything I just say? I want to hear what you have to say. Leave a comment below. Have a good day and hodl on. Peace.